He arrived 3 hours late, for the third time. The entire crew watched as Clint Eastwood walked toward his trailer. What happened in the next 60 seconds became the most repeated story in Hollywood. But here's what nobody tells you about that morning. This wasn't just about being late. This was about 75 people standing in the freezing Alberta dawn, watching their breath turn to fog, waiting for someone who thought his artistic process mattered more than their time. October 1992, The Unforgiven set, a film that would win 4 Academy Awards, a production running ahead of schedule, exactly how Clint Eastwood built his reputation, disciplined, efficient, professional. Then they hired him. We'll call him Derek Matthews, not his real name, but everyone in the industry knows exactly who he is. A method actor from New York, trained at prestigious programs, fresh off an intense off-Broadway performance that got him noticed. His agent pushed hard to land him a key supporting role in Clint's Western. Clint's casting director had warned him. Talented but difficult, very method, very particular about his process. Clint gave him the role anyway. With one condition: understand how we work here. Matthews signed the contract, flew to Alberta, sat through the production meeting where Clint laid it out clearly. 6 a.m. call times, professionalism, efficiency. The crew works hard. Actors match that energy. Matthews nodded, but his eyes said something else. Something that suggested logistics were beneath him. He was here to create art, not punch a clock. Day 1. Monday morning. Call time, 6 a.m. sharp. Remote ranch location, an hour from base camp. The morning light was crucial. The kind of light you get once, maybe twice if you're lucky. At 6 a.m. the crew was ready. Cameras positioned. Lights set to catch the golden glow. Other actors already in makeup, having been in the chair since 5. Clint in his director's chair, reviewing the shot list. 75 people, all waiting. Matthews' trailer door stayed closed. 6:30. First AD knocked politely. No answer. 6:45. Louder this time. Still nothing. The crew started shifting, checking watches, whispering. This wasn't how Clint Eastwood sets worked. 7 a.m. Multiple attempts later, Matthews finally opened the door. Still in street clothes, hair uncombed, looking genuinely annoyed at being disturbed. "I'm preparing," he said, as if the AD was interrupting something sacred. "My process requires deep internal work before I can inhabit the character. This can't be rushed. This isn't some sitcom." The AD explained about the morning light, about the crew waiting. "Art doesn't work on a schedule," Matthews replied, and closed the door. Clint made a decision. Shoot around him. Scene 14. They lost the perfect morning light. 2.5 hours of scheduled work. Gone. Matthews emerged at 8:30, ready to work. As if nothing happened. Clint said nothing. Got him through his scenes, moved on. But he was watching. Day 2. Same call time. Same crucial reasons. Same 75 crew members who'd woken at 4:30 a.m. to be ready on time. 6 a.m. Matthews's trailer, dark and silent. 6:30. Still dark. The crew's frustration was visible now. Yesterday was annoying. This was a pattern. 7 a.m. The AD knocked with less patience. Matthews answered in a bathrobe, sipping coffee, like he was on vacation. "I told you yesterday," he said, irritation clear in his voice. "My artistic process requires time. I need to meditate, to center myself, to find the character's emotional truth. This isn't television. This is cinema. This is art." "We have 75 people waiting," the AD said carefully. "Then they'll learn patience. Great performances can't be manufactured on an assembly line." He emerged at 8:45, over 2.5 hours late. Again. When told they'd have to skip his scene and lose another lighting window, Matthews shrugged. If the light isn't right, the light isn't right. As if this vindicated his lateness rather than caused it. Clint watched from his director's chair, said nothing, adjusted the schedule, shot what they could, noted the pattern. That evening, his producer approached him. 2 days, 2 major delays. We're losing budget and schedule." "I'm aware," Clint said. "Should we warn him?" "No threats. 1 more day. Let's see if this is who he is." Day 3 was critical. Matthew's biggest scene. A dramatic confrontation requiring precise timing, complex camera movement, specific natural light they'd get for maybe 90 minutes. Extra crew scheduled. Additional equipment brought in. Multiple departments coordinated around this single shoot. Call time, 6 a.m. sharp, 5:45 a.m. Entire crew ready. Actors in position. Cameras prepped. Lights set. Sound recording. Everyone waiting for Derek Matthews. 6 a.m. His trailer was closed. 6:15, still closed. 6:30. The AD knocked. No answer. 6:45. Louder knocking. Nothing. Then Clint stood up from his director's chair and walked toward Matthew's trailer himself. The entire crew watched. This was unprecedented. Clint directing was usually invisible, a quiet efficiency from his chair. Him walking across set meant something significant was happening. He knocked on the trailer door. Hard. 3 sharp raps that echoed across the quiet set. After a long moment, Matthews opened it. Bathrobe. Cup of tea. Annoyed expression. "We're ready for you," Clint said quietly. "I'm preparing," Matthews replied, tone suggesting this should be obvious. "My artistic process can't be rushed. I need to access deep emotional memories for this scene. It takes time. It takes—" "What time was your call?" Clint interrupted. Voice still quiet, but with an edge now. "Call times are administrative convenience," Matthews said, launching into what was clearly a prepared speech. "Real acting, serious acting, requires going to places that can't be scheduled. I'm not some television actor who hits marks and delivers lines. I'm creating a character from the inside out. That process—" "What time?" Clint repeated, not asking now, stating, each word deliberate. "Was your call?" Matthews blinked, thrown off. 6, but that's just— "It's 7 a.m., Clint said. "You're an hour late, 3rd day in a row. 75 people have been waiting for you, people who got here on time despite having the same early call." "Great art requires sacrifice," Matthews recovered his confidence. "Those people are being paid to wait. That's literally their job. My job is to create something transcendent, something that will last beyond this production schedule. You, of all people, should understand that real artistry can't be confined to—" "Pack your things." Matthews stopped mid-sentence, mouth open. "Excuse me?" "Pack your things," Clint repeated. That same quiet rasp that had become famous in westerns. "You're fired. There's a car waiting to take you back to Los Angeles. You have 30 minutes. The entire crew had gone silent. 75 people frozen, watching this unfold. Matthews laughed, a nervous sound. "You can't fire me. We're in the middle of production. You need me for—" "No," Clint said simply. "We need someone professional. Someone who respects other people's time. Someone who understands that film is collaborative. That's not you. Pack your things." "This is insane." Matthews' voice rose now. "I'm creating art here. I'm giving you the performance of a lifetime. You can't fire someone for taking their craft seriously." "I'm not firing you for taking craft seriously," Clint said. "I'm firing you for being late 3 days in a row and showing no respect for the 75 professionals who've been waiting for you while you drank tea in your bathrobe." "My process—" "Your process," Clint interrupted, "involves being on set when you're supposed to be on set. If you can't do that, you can't work here. Pack your things." Matthews looked around at the crew, perhaps expecting support, sympathy. He found none. 75 people who'd been up since 4:30 a.m., who'd driven an hour to this location, who'd been standing ready for over an hour, just stared back with zero sympathy. "You're making a huge mistake," Matthews said to Clint. "I'm the best actor you'll ever work with. You're letting ego destroy what could have been—" "30 minutes, Clint said, cutting him off. Then he turned and walked back to his director's chair. Matthews stood in his trailer doorway, apparently waiting for Clint to change his mind, for someone to intervene. Neither happened. Finally, he went back inside, slammed the door. Clint turned to his first AD. "Call the actor we screen tested who came in second. See if he can be here tomorrow. Reschedule Matthews's scenes for next week." Then he addressed the crew. "We're moving to scene 22. Let's not waste the morning. The crew erupted into activity, reorganizing for a different scene, grateful to actually be working instead of waiting. Several were smiling, a few trying not to laugh. 25 minutes later, Derek Matthews emerged with his bags, looking furious. A production van was waiting. He climbed in without speaking to anyone, and left. Clint didn't watch him go. He was already focused on the next shot. The story spread through Hollywood before Matthews' van reached the airport. Clint Eastwood fired an actor for being late and citing artistic process. By the next day, it was in the trades. Matthews' agent tried spinning it as creative differences or scheduling conflicts, but too many crew members had witnessed what happened. The truth came out. Matthews had been fired for being unprofessional, for hiding behind artistic process as an excuse. The impact on his career was immediate and devastating. Other directors who'd been considering him suddenly weren't interested. Producers asked pointed questions about his reliability. Studios put him on unofficial, difficult actor lists. Within a year, Matthews was doing regional theater again. The promising film career his agent had worked so hard to build, completely destroyed by 3 late arrivals and 1 conversation with Clint Eastwood. The actor Clint hired to replace Matthews showed up 15 minutes early every day, knew his lines perfectly, delivered an excellent performance that contributed to the film's eventual success. Unforgiven went on to win 4 Academy Awards. Clint won Best Director and Best Picture. The film is now considered one of the greatest westerns ever made. Derek Matthews is remembered, when he's remembered at all, as the actor who was fired from Unforgiven for showing up late and lecturing Clint Eastwood about artistic process. Years later, in an interview about directing, Clint was asked about the incident. His response was characteristically brief. Film sets require discipline, not because of some authoritarian philosophy, but because hundreds of people are coordinating complex work. When one person decides their process is more important than everyone else's time, they're not an artist. They're just selfish. But the crew members who were there tell a more detailed story. They talk about 75 people standing ready at 6 a.m., about losing perfect morning light 3 days in a row, about Matthews dismissing their time as unimportant while he meditated in his bathrobe. And they talk about how Clint's firing of Matthews wasn't angry or dramatic. It was matter of fact, delivered in that quiet voice with the same calm he brought to every directing decision. Pack your things. Cars waiting. 30 minutes. The incident became legendary not because it was loud or theatrical, but because it was the opposite. It was Clint simply drawing a line. Professionalism matters. Your time doesn't count more than 75 other people's time. Art doesn't excuse disrespect. To this day, artistic process can't be rushed is a phrase you don't want to use on a Clint Eastwood set. And showing up late while everyone else is ready is a career mistake you only get to make once. Because in Hollywood, talent is common. Professionalism is rare. And Clint Eastwood built his legend knowing the difference.